Welcome back to my channel. This is Nikki of Nikki's Homemade Crafts. In order to crochet this soccer ball, I'm using Premier's mini Keens. They are #2 fine yarn. You can totally go thinner than that if you have any available. I also recommend thread, so crochet thread or a fingering yarn that is a black or in white. I'm using a 3mm hook. You can totally go smaller as well. And the pattern is actually fairly easy. It just takes a little bit of time and commitment to finish it up. You're going to do a lot of sewing, so a little heads up on that. You will be crocheting 20 hexagons all in white, and you're going to crochet 12 pentagons all in black. Because black is very hard to see on camera, I'm just going to show you how to do a hexagon, but the pentagon is done exactly the same way, just with 1 stitch less. So first, start with a magic ring. I highly recommend a magic ring, not an alternative, otherwise you're going to have a little extra sewing to do. So here's how I do it. So I will wrap my yarn around it, make an X, put my finger on it, pull it out. Now I'm going to pull my yarn through with my hook and then place my thumb over it. Now I am adjusting my hand, keeping my loop in place and putting my ring finger into the loop. That keeps the ring or the circle in place. I'm going to make a chain of 1 just to secure it a little bit more. It is not counted as a stitch. Now you're going to crochet 1 single crochet and a chain of 1. That is the corner, whether it's a hexagon or a pentagon. Now this set, 1 single crochet chain of 1, you're going to do a total of 6 times for the hexagon, a total of 5 times for the pentagon. So I'll show you the hexagon here in white. So 1 single crochet, chain of 1, so that's 2 in total now. 1 single crochet, chain of 1, 3. 1 single crochet, chain of 1, 4. 1 single crochet, chain of 1, 5. At this point you would stop for the pentagon, but for the hexagon we'll do 1 more, and that's it. Now you're going to close up your ring, pull it nice and tight, and at this stage I'm going to cut my yarn. You're going to take your yarn out. You can totally do a slip stitch at this stage, but I feel like sewing it will make it a lot cleaner. You're going to add your yarn onto your needle. And now you're going to do an invisible join or just a connection between the last and the first stitch. So I'm just going to weave that over and go back in, making sure I go out on the back. So whatever is the back. Okay, so this is the hexagon. Pentagon has 1 stitch or 1 chain less. Now once I've done that, I'm going to knot it in the back with a double knot, and then you're going to cut your yarn. How much you're going to cut your yarn is up to you. You don't have to do too much. You can leave a little bit of there hanging. So I'm probably going to do about this. You can totally do longer or shorter. I do recommend leaving some of it there. It keeps it stable once we put it all together. Once you're done, you're going to have 20 hexagons and 12 pentagons, and now it's a matter of sewing them together. So no pentagon ever touches another pentagon. However, you will have hexagons touch each other. Okay, so you will always have 5 hexagons. Make sure they're all on the same side around 1 pentagon like this. Okay, and you're going to sew this now together by using a mattress stitch. So let me show you the mattress stitch. So here you have it all sewn together, but I also want to show you what happens with all this yarn. So this yarn is just going to hang here. If you feel like this is too long, you are totally welcome to cut it a little bit more, because it can bother you a little bit as you're sewing things together. So kind of grab it all together and then kind of cut it, because you've made a double knot, so everything will stay in place. once you have this first one done with a mattress stitch, and no worries, I'm going to show you in a second how to do the mattress stitch, you will now go all the way around it. So you will go in a zigzag in and out. So what you're going to do is you have a pentagon right here, and then you have a hexagon next right here, and then again a pentagon right here, and then it goes back and forth. So let me just show you right here. So once you have the first one done, which is fairly easy, you're just going to go all the way around, right? So now when you sew, you're going to go outwards, you're going to add the pentagon right here, you're going to go over at the hexagon, then go over at the pentagon, you're going to go down and sew this together and go back up, add the pentagon on this side of the hexagon, and then you keep going and you do this all the way around, and then you do the next layer all the way around and the next layer, okay, until you're almost done. And at that point you're going to do some stuffing, and then you're done. So I'm going to show you how to do this little part here and how to do the mattress stitch, which is actually fairly easy, and it keeps it the cleanest. So I'm going to show you how to sew these two pieces here together. So I'm on the bottom right now. You're going to go in and out on the side of the hexagon right here. Okay, so the hexagons again are the white ones, like so. And now you go over to the other side of the other hexagon and do the exact same. So you go in and out of the side of the hexagon, and then you pull. I like to do, if I possibly can, do 2 stitches on each side. So these are obviously small stitches. You can totally use a thinner needle for this. You can even use thread if you like. So now I'm going to go over to this side. Again, these are small stitches that I'm making, so very short distances. And now it's time for me to add the next pentagon. So I'm going to hold this over here, and now I'm going to go in and out of the pentagon. Again, small stitches. And then go back over to the hexagon. Again, always small stitches. And one more time to the pentagon, just to make sure everything is nice and secure and it doesn't dangle around. Just keep your stitches small. There you go. So now at this stage you will add the next hexagon right here. And again, 2 stitches per side is ideal, and always pull once you've done that. And you will see that there is barely a sign here that things were sewn together. So the mattress stitch really keeps it nice and clean, and you don't have those obvious lines. So now keep on going and go all the way around it. I have a little picture right here that shows you exactly which pentagon or hexagon goes where, and it's obviously a flat version of this, and you're going to keep sewing them together, and at the end you should have maybe one more to go, and that's where you're then going to stuff the soccer ball before finishing it all up. So let me show you how that looks like when you have only one more to go. Once it looks like this, you will see that there's 5 hexagons right here, and there's only 1 spot left for the very last black one. So at this point you can start stuffing a little bit, and you can always stuff a little bit more as you close it up, but we want to put some of it already in there so that we don't have issues later, and it's going to make it much easier. So now that I stuffed it very well, and if you sewed everything very nicely, you should not have any issues with stuffing coming through. So now we're going to place this inside the yarn end, and now it's a matter of sewing the last little piece here together. So again, keep it up with 2 stitches per side to make sure it's nice and tight, especially the last one. You want to make sure everything is nice and clean and it looks even. So I'm just going to keep doing the mattress stitch, small little tiny pieces at the time, meaning tiny stitches. So that way it's very nice and clean. And once you're done sewing, you're simply going to make a knot and pull it inwards so that the knot is not shown. I like to make a double knot just to make sure, but this is thin yarn, so it should be okay and not too visible. So now that I have that done, I'm simply going to push my needle all the way through, which pulls that knot a little inward, and then we're done. And there we go. Here's the soccer ball. You're going to have 20 hexagons and 12 pentagons all the way around, and you have a nice, good looking soccer ball. You can also just do a white ball and then add the pentagons later, but obviously it wouldn't be as real as a real soccer ball. Now this is teeny tiny, so you're going to need some patience to finish it up like that. And of course, you can totally add a little bit of a ring here at this point and then add a keychain, whichever keychain you want, in order to have your soccer ball finished and turn it into a keychain. In order to attach your key ring to your ball, you're going to need some jewelry pliers. I'm using this type of set. It's already plied open, that little ring. You need to attach this ring to the last chain right here, and then also attach this ring to your ball wherever you want, and then use the pliers to squeeze them together. Once you have it attached like so, you just simply squeeze the ends here together to close them up, and then you're done. You can use this for any ball. You can use any keychain ring that you like. I prefer this one because the rings are going to be far enough away that it won't bother the ball too much, and it looks perfect. I just used the baseball here as an example, but you can do this, of course, for any of the balls. If you loved making this keychain, how about any of these other ones? We have a football, baseball, basketball, tennis ball, bowling ball, soccer ball, golf ball, a volleyball, and a pool 8 ball. You can get all of these patterns in my new printer-friendly, ad-free PDF called Sport Ball Keychains Made Easy, which includes a written instructions as well as videos for each of these balls. See the link down below in the description. Which one will you make next? Be sure to like, comment, and share this video. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I publish a video or go live. Now go ahead and watch the next video. You're gonna want to, I promise you do.